Hello and welcome to day 60 of creating this PHP web framework series. Like I said in the previous video, we realistically need to rename this project from PHP web framework because it's going to become a lot more front end related now, especially considering we started off the CMS side in the last video. I'm actually going to put the CMS on hold just temporarily. There's a feature I want to add, and that's accessing the GIPHY API. So that's just a GIPHY API, so you can actually easily access GIFs. And I actually need that for a project, and I think it'd be quite cool that it's implemented in there. Obviously, it's not as I say crucial as something like social login or having a recapture system by Google implemented, but we've got a lot of those basics implemented now, and we're going beyond sort of necessities and more niceties, really. So stuff that would be nice to have in there. So let's get started with that. Like I said, I'm just going to put this on hold for a while. I'll leave that in the progress section. So yeah, I'll leave that in the progress section because it's more like the hiatus area. So what we're going to do, I'll add one directly just here, and this is going to be integrate GIPHY API, and I'll put this as a label of orange, assign it to myself. That's really all there is to it for now. I'll close these down. We'll get back to that afterwards. So GIPHY. This is what we want to integrate into our framework so we can easily access GIFs, because that is actually very important in the modern world. Obviously not for a website, but quite a lot of websites to be able to access GIFs and memes and emojis. So having that feature built in would be cool. So go to the GIPHY API page, log in. Okay, cool. I literally just created an account before I started this video. Just use sign in via what's that thing, Majiggy, Facebook. So GIPHY developers. So let's have a look what it's saying. So we got, and in terms of like a class system, I was thinking of having a class called image, and it goes in here, and then at a later date there'll be other stuff that goes into the image class as well. So you won't know that you're necessarily interacting with GIPHY. You know that you're interacting with, let's say, GIFs of in general. Getting started with the API, blah 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 blah. Let's try return a single random GIF. I think that'll be one of those ones that's a lot easier to implement than some of the other stuff. Okay, what I really want is an example of it. Random endpoint. Let's create an app. The app is going to be called Test Framework. App description. Testing. So API key request a production key. Okay, yeah, we don't need that. This will be fine for testing. So let's create a class called image.php, and we'll just grab hold of one of these, like blog for example. copy that into image, and I'm going to get rid of everything but the constructor in terms of methods. We are going to get rid of user. We'll leave those two there. We'll change the class name to image. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. I don't think it's database related as of yet. So I guess I have to get rid of that as well. What I will need is a new config. So new file, this is going to be called image underscore config. And as usual, we will just copy and paste something from here. It's going to be called image. Actually, I'm going to have, and let me have a quick look at how I did multi-level stuff in here. That was it. I'm going to do it for social as well. Yeah, this is essentially what I want. So is enabled. Yeah, this is the same structure that I want. So if I go to back to image, I replace this with this. So you could add other frameworks as well related to image. So GIPHY. I spelled it correctly. Yeah, I am now. Keys, and this is going to be GIPHY. We're going to have API key and production key. So API, production. And I'll whack that into here. Got nothing in production at the moment, which is fine. So in image.php. So now that we've created an app, okay, so let's take a look. Code example, that's what we really want. We got some JavaScript examples. I'm just going to deal with PHP. Okay, so let me grab hold of this. I'm going to whack this into a method, public function, and this is just going to be, I'm going to call it get for now, or test. Okay, so we've got the GIPHY API. Are they only on version 1 of the API? I thought that was on version 2 for some reason. Let me have a quick look. API highlight is in here now. No, it's only on version 1. That's fine. It's fine with me. So if we go back to here, search Ryan Gosling, yeah, that's the default search on there. I'll leave that as it is just for testing. I need an API key. My API key would be in this is just to be able to get this. So an image, your API key, and this is going to be GIF. Actually, how do we need to access it again? So it was an image. So we need to go into, let me confirm by looking at the user stuff for the social. So yeah, it says // So if we go back to image config, so we go to keys. We'll be using that soon. For now, we'll leave it. So we got keys, GIPHY, API. So keys, GIPHY, API, keys, GIPHY, API, and instead of doing this, we would just return $URL. I'll cut that, and in I'll create a no elements. I'll get rid of this. Get all for user. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we're gonna do $image equals sonar /image. We need a new keyword here, and I'm gonna have image test. Okay, so let's check it out, and we are in testing miscellaneous. Okay, so miscellaneous line 5, core to undefined function JSON decode. Let's see if I were to get rid of that instead now. Do we not have enough brackets? It looks like we've got enough brackets. Let me just print all that. No element miscellaneous image test. That is what it's called, isn't it? What I'm going to do is copy that, go to miscellaneous, and just literally replace this with that. And the only thing that I'm going to change is I'm going to directly put the API key, just put it there for now myself, and I'll fix that later. Feel like something missing here. API key and limit. There we go. I'm going far enough into it. So now, if we refresh, forget content, fail to open stream HTTP request forbidden. Is that the same problem I was having before? I'm going to just try changing permissions locally. Just give me a second. I think that might be the issue. And let's have a look. Fail to OpenStream HTTP request fail. 403 forbidden in. So well, if I just down to the JSON decode, just do the file get contents. Yeah, it's the same crap. So that's for starters. Now what I pasted in there, but it wasn't what I wanted. I pasted in the URL instead of this. Okay, round 2. Okay, seems to have got something, which is good. I'm guessing. Okay, that's good stuff. If let's say I change this to Star Wars, we should get different results now. Just slightly different. Let's say if we change this to 1, to the limit, we only get 1 result. Yeah, working. Okay, so let's take this back into that other class, or the image class. I will rename this thing, don't worry. So we got I'm gonna call this. Is this just like it's just the regular search for GIFs, GIF search, and I guess there are 2 things that we need to pass into here. Dollar search query. This is like MySQL query, just like what you want to search for, and then I'm going to do a dollar limit, and by default it's going to be equal to 5. So what we would do is for the content, so this is what we would actually be returning. So we want to replace the API thing. The API thing, like so. We want to replace this with just dollar limit. Okay, so if we go back to miscellaneous, to dollar image test, and if I put this as a print underscore r, and remember we need a query in here, so I'm just going to put hello for now. Okay, quote undefined test. Okay, GIF search. Okay, we have got stuff. Oh, zoomed in then, didn't want to. And if let's say we were to do 1, returns 1, If I do 100, it will should return 100. Obviously that's going to take a little longer than usual, and let's return a whole heap of stuff. Would it work if I put a space in there, or do I need to break it up on the other end? That's what I'm going to find out. If I put Star Wars, see what we get. I'm going to change this to, I'll leave it as the default of 5, so search. What I want to know is that the same as that. Okay, now I'm not printing in the query. So if I go back to image.php, yes, this was never changing, so this needs to be dollar search query. Go back to miscellaneous, refresh. Yeah, I'm gonna need to do some, see what happens if I put a space on there. That messes stuff up. Okay, that can easily be solved. So in the image class, first of all, we need to do dollar search query equals itself, but it's going to be trimmed. So trim dollar search query. Okay, that's fine now. That obviously will not fix the issue of there being a space in the middle. Okay, so what is the best way to do it? Because what we could do is just search, once we've trimmed this so we've got rid of all space on the sides, we could, I guess, search for, what's it called, a space, but there might be multiple spaces, and if we're just doing a replace character, I don't know how well that's going to work. So if I were to put multiple pluses, how well does that work? Does that work? Does that literally work the same way regardless of how many pluses there are? No, it doesn't quite work the same way. So PHP replace spaces in string. Doesn't really matter what we're replacing them with, it's just we just want to be able to replace them. So let me try. I'm gonna comment that out for now. Journal name doesn't really matter, that's called journal name. I'm gonna put in here Star Wars. I will replace that with a plus. And I'm going to print underscore R journal name. Okay, we get a plus. After if we put multiple spaces, result of that is working the exact way that I want it to. I'll get rid of that, cut that, sort that out, go back to image, and after we've trimmed it, we need to do that, put that there, replace that with that, and we're done. we should be ready to run this again. So refresh, and if we go back to miscellaneous, we should be able to put whatever we want in here. Okay, that seems to be working fantastic. So it doesn't matter if we put a space in there. That's good. We can't expect users to be putting a plus in there. That's stuff we do need to handle. So we got this, a regular search, which is cool. What else we got? Sample responses. Okay. What other method would we put in there? So we would have maybe what's trending, random. So at the moment we have, if we go back to image, search, okay, so let's have a look at what other methods I want to implement. So, because what time is it? It's 27 minutes. I'm gonna start just wrapping up this now. So I'll put in what else I want in here. So tasks, trending search. There is translate. What's the translate? No, not for now. Random, that sounds like one that I want. Okay, so random search. What else we got? By GIF ID. No, I'm not interested in that. Sticker search endpoint. What are the stickers? Replicates the functionality concept of classic GIPHY search, but returns animated stickers rather than GIFs. Let me see the different GIPHY, GIF versus sticker. So stickers, what were they? I'm gonna say no for now. If I really want to add this, I can. It shouldn't be that difficult. So what else we got? There's stickers. So trending random. Okay. Loop over results. Maybe depending on how generic it is. So because at the moment it's not reading a usable format, this isn't, you would actually go over the array, pick the data you want. So we have like the URL, so put this in this. Oh, no. This should give us some GIF to do with Star Wars. It's a trap. So yeah, the famous old Admiral Akbar. We got some width and height parameters. We got a bunch of other stuff as well that seems very useful. We've actually got them in different formats, so you can have them in the GIF format. You can have them in an MP4 format. Whatever takes your fancy. So what we'll do is actually, yeah, it probably would be quite useful potentially, but we'll see. So we got integrate GIPHY API. That's going good. So far, so good. So this is just part one of integrating the GIPHY API. We'll obviously usually have one more part. Hopefully that should just be wrapping it up, and maybe a third part depending on how long that takes for the documentation side as well. So now that we've got the image class set up, we can add other features to it when we do start, well, either integrating other frameworks that are image related, potentially image compression. Actually, I'm going to whack that onto here, image compression. I feel like this is very important as well. This is gonna, I'll put that red. So CMS is just temporarily on hold, and it's trying to create stuff that are needed. So I need it sort of in the project. So yeah, image compression, that would be really cool having something like that in there. And there's other things that we could do with images as well. So it doesn't have to be external related, external framework related. It could be just stuff that we're doing internally as well. Because I did mention something about versioning quite a few videos ago that never really led to anything. It could be a function within the image class. So yeah, that is it really. I did just think could potentially have, let's reorder that, this method to, or a method to enclose it into an image tag, but the problem with that is there's so many other parameters like data properties that you can add to a like an element. You could have width and height, you could have classes, you could have IDs, you could have sort of accessibility properties. So I don't think that's a very practical thing, because once you've got, the most difficult part is getting, let's say, the GIF or whatever you're getting, we can easily plop that into a, what's it called, in the front end. So yeah, I guess that is it. So yeah, that is it for day 60, creating this PHP web framework series. Again, we need a new name. And yeah, we just started on integrating GIPHY into our framework. Pretty cool. It's obviously a lot more fun than some of the other stuff that we've been integrating, especially because when it works, we get a nice animated GIF and more Akbar saying it's a drop. And so yeah, I will see you in the next video. Obviously, usual stuff: Facebook, Google Plus, Twitter, links are in the description, along with the GitHub page, which has all the source code. Haven't committed yet, will be committing after we finish the GIPHY stuff, or at least like the first version of the GIPHY integration. And feel free to post on our educational platform with any questions you may have. sonarlearning.co.uk. Again, links in the description. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and leave us a comment. And I will see you in the next video.